Hey guys, I'm Theseus, and this is my first YouTube video. Yay! It's taken me a while to get to this point, but I finally decided to make full-length videos thanks to my positive experience on TikTok. And what way start off then with a bit of a recent obsession of mine, that being South Park. As I'm sure you can, already tell from the title of this video. I used to avoid South Park like the plague, but a friend of mine managed to get me hooked literally the week I moved out of our flat. I've known them for 3 years, and only now did they get it to stick. Ever since before becoming a fan, I've been privy to their ramblings, and I did get invested in certain characters before I even watched a single episode. But watching the shows made me even more invested, and, I started thinking, as I usually do with content that I like, what would the characters look like in my own art style? Then I went down a whole spiral of what ifs. I blame fanfiction, really. I'm a little obsessed with the high school AUs. The first character I tackled was Stan Marsh, purely because I think his redesign is the most changed from what we see in the show. It's heavily influenced by his goth kid design from season 7. I'm alt myself, and I absolutely adore the goth kids. They're amazing. They're definitely getting their own redesigns at some point. We also have some stoner influences, thanks to him living on a weed farm, particularly with his hair. I love a guy with long hair, okay? What can I say? And, the floppy locks I gave him just kind of work. In my view, he's not tall, but he is lanky. I've placed him in the other boys at, 17 years old with the redesign, and I see him as still needing to grow into his limbs. He still also has a problem with throwing up when he gets nervous, and his friends tease him about it a lot. Is he nervous, drunk, or stoned? Most of the time, it's all three. Unless he's hungover, which is pretty often. I feel for him. I do. He has Randy for a dad and Shelley's a sister. Of course he's gonna have issues. Despite his preference for darker colours, though, he vehemently denies that he is goth, and it's true. He's more into bands like Nirvana and folk punk groups. He can play the hell out of a guitar, and he's managed to keep the band he started when he was a kid together, somehow. They tend to argue about genres, but they're still going strong, which is surprising, In addition to the aged-up designs, I also interpreted directly from the OG designs. I mean, look at him. He's a cutie. He's adorable. I despise drawing the bobble hat, though. It's an irritation I had with pretty much all the boys. I can't stand the hats. They're so annoying. Next up was Kyle. I couldn't split up the dynamic duo, so, Kyle was next. He was a weird one. I didn't really have much of an idea for his redesign, not like I did with the other boys. But what I did end up going for turned out pretty good. And he's probably one of my favourite redesigns so far. He's, up there with Kenny's redesign. The only thing I knew for sure in the beginning was that his hair was going to be fluffy. A lot of art I see of Kyle is him with, big, fluffy hair. And I wanted that bit of iconic design to stay. I like the idea of him being embarrassed by his hair and trying to dye it at some point when he's, in middle school or something. But it goes horribly wrong. So he resorted to keeping it short and, hiding it under his hat as often as he could. Eventually, though, he comes to love his, ginger locks, and he doesn't hide it so much anymore. I decided to make him a bit of a nerd. I mean, he's canonically good with the computer, and he likes literature, because at least that's my headcanon, because he's good with poems, surprisingly. I mean, him coming up with 3 separate haikus on the spot to insult Cartman was fucking hilarious. He plays basketball and is pretty good, but he prefers video games over that. From this idea, I had plenty to choose from for the action shot, so to speak. But I gave him a book to read because, I don't know, I thought it would look cool. That's pretty much it. I thought it would look cool. Another headcanon for him that led into the design is that he is very, very gay, and he crushes really hard on Stan, but thinks Stan doesn't like him in that way, even though he does, and it's very, very obvious. He's also Kenny's best friend. They hang out a lot more than they used to after Stan moved to Integrity Farms. He is also responsible for Cartman's kind of wonky looking nose. He has broken it a few times. The boy has anger issues, okay? A lot of anger issues. He's a bit of a soft boy, but he definitely has a temper on him. Like, he has a very short fuse. He has rage quitted so many games, and, you know, he needs to stop shattering computer mice against the wall. Cartman was next. Long story short, he's still an angry, obese brat, though he got into American football and turned a lot of the fat into muscle. He is also way too smart for his own good. Boy be a schemer at heart. I mean, I say he's smart, he actually gets terrible grades. He would be amazing in school if he just put more of his energy into studying and less of it into coming up with ways of being the biggest jerk he can be. That's the thing, though. Him putting all of his energy into being the biggest jerk he can be is why I fucking love Cartman. I hate him, I despise him, but damn is he so fun. I see him as having been really heavily bullied in middle school, and so he gets into football, and by high school he's back to being his top dog, respect my authority ways. He sees himself as way more popular than he actually is. And, I mean, he is popular in a way. Everyone knows who he is, and some people do like him, if only for the fact he's a good quarterback. That's that's right? I don't know anything about American football. Most sports, really. Most people do like him because he can play football. But really, he's just known as the fat jerk who can throw a ball kind of good. His design was pretty simple for me. He's built like a brick shithouse, and he wears red. I mean, that's oversimplifying, but it's true. I see him wearing a lot of expensive brands that he can show off, though a lot of it is actually fake. And I can't decide if he knows they're fake, or he's willfully ignorant of the fact that they're fake and he actively believes they're real. And he's like, oh my god, look at this. It was like $20, but it's real. I got it from, I don't know, internet. I'm sorry. His child design was actually really, really fun. I pushed myself a lot on the body type. I pride myself on diverse bodies in my art. I myself not exactly being a slim person, but Cartman was a solid step or two out of my comfort zone. The only thing I really struggled with him, though, was his hair. I couldn't figure out the best colour. It's auburn, but I'm terrible at depicting auburn. Just like I'm awful with hazel eyes, but thankfully I don't really have to deal with that with this style that I'm currently using. I also had major problems with that stupid helmet. Why did I decide to give him a helmet? Why did I say American football? I could have gone wrestling or actual football. Nah, they don't have helmets. Or rugby. I could have gone rugby. Then again, that's more the rest of the world than America. But whatever. The helmet. Why? Saving the best for last, we have my boy. We have my sweet Kenny. Best character in the show, and you cannot change my mind. I've had his redesign locked down since I started getting obsessed with the idea. Personality-wise, he was the easiest one to figure out. He's a foul-mouthed, dirty-minded, sex-obsessed bastard, and I love him. He's protective as hell and friendly with almost everyone. Utterly enamored with the sweetheart that is Butters. Oh, I love Butters. He's so cute, and I love shipping him with Kenny. It's adorable. It's so cute, okay? And, you know, Kenny is also the best big brother ever. he will do anything for Karen. Karen is such an adorable little kid, and Kenny is just the best big brother ever. It's so cute. In my world, he parts ways with Cartman in middle school, not wanting to suffer any more of his insanity, because in my view, this is all headcanon. This is just this video is just me spouting off my headcanons. But so when Cartman started getting bullied in middle school and it got really bad, he started bullying Kenny even worse than he used to. And Kenny was like, yeah, screw this shit, fuck you, I'm going home. Sorry. I need to chill. I need to, like, relax and breathe. But yeah, in contrast to Cartman, Kenny is actually popular, which Cartman cannot stand. Normal high school drama type stuff, The classic used to be friends, now they're enemies kind of vibe. In terms of design, he's very similar to his OG design, though instead of orange pants, he has torn brown jeans, In my brain, they are the only pair he has, and he never washes them, so they're, like, really gross. He can't help it, though. The washing machine broke, and they can't afford to replace or repair it. And do you think they have money for a laundromat? No. I've seen a bunch of art giving him a fluffy hood, and I usually draw him that way too. I can't not give him floofs. But the way I drew his aged up design hides any hood that he could have, and I prefer drawing his young version without the floofs. I also gave him a mullet. It just fits the scrunkly trash man vibes, okay? Same with giving him the skateboard. He seems like the type to have a skateboard. Same with the wonky teeth. And the little scruffy beard that he has. Cartman is envious of the beard. Cartman wants facial hair. He can't grow facial hair very well. He just has really weird random patches. But Kenny has a little scruffy beard. I'm playing up this whole rivalry between Kenny and Cartman. Anyway, moving on. I don't have much more to say on Kenny, so I'm just obsessed with him and the outcome. I made him way too hot for his own good. Way too hot for his own good. Here we have a final shot of all the boys together, and I adore how they came out. I can't wait to continue with my redesigns, because yes, I have more. But that's all we have for this video, so have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Yes, I know that line is overused, but I'm new here, okay? I'm gonna say it. And don't get lost on your way out. Bye!